Hello everyone, and welcome to another game of World of Warships. Today's replay is from myself again, and I'm in Massachusetts. A Tier 8 US battleship. I'm on the map Islands of Ice in a 3-point domination game, and it's a Tier 10 battle. There is no Tier 9s, there is only Tier 10s and Tier 8s. At least there is 5 Tier 8s. We'll take them. Now, I'm on my way more towards the A-cap, although I want to help at B early on if possible. The thing about the A-cap is we have a Benson who is just pushing in like madship, and well, I mean, he got a trade out of it, and it's not a bad trade, trading a Benson against the Shimakaze, but it was way too risky. Like, this was the best possible outcome he could have hoped for. There was no escape for him there. He's way too close to the enemy forces in many ways. Pushing in so hard early on, it's just a suicide, and he got the best possible. Don't do that. I mean, we basically got lucky there in this one, I would say. So, we got lucky. We also have a Booster who is way too aggressive, if you ask me. So the Booster is not division with anyone with smoke, and he's in the wrong side of the island. Like, he's in a position with no cover against enemy battleships that can possibly shoot the Booster. And he's, well, I mean, a division mate, maybe he can smoke him, but like he's
the ship is on fire.
It's basically all himself. Now, meanwhile, myself, I'm trying to escape Smolensk, and meanwhile I'm showing broadside to a Bismarck, which could end up pretty wrong too. So let's be honest about that. If that Bismarck now has a salvo loaded, I'll be wrecked. And why is that Booster turning around? Like, I mean, I understand that there are a lot of islands here that are a bit too high to provide suitable cover for the Booster. You can at least go and, like, go in long range. Like, you didn't want to go charging a Bismarck in your Booster, especially since he wasn't he, like, already retreating earlier and he actually made the turn back in. It's a very strange Booster play there. Now, of course, meanwhile, the Hindenburg, the Kurfürst from the A-cap retreated, which... Like, early on, I thought I could support the A-camp when we still had the destroyer and ships there. But that's not going to happen. I can't push myself into a Smolensk and the Kurfürst. More importantly, I probably need to take care of or help take care of the Bismarck. Now, if the Bismarck is smart, well, I mean, honestly, if the Bismarck was too smart, he probably wouldn't be pushing in like this. I don't think it's that desperate for the enemy team that he needs to take a risk like that already. Because he doesn't seem to have a lot of backup. But what he could do is he could try to sit behind this island. I mean, he does have Hydro. That's a plus for him. Now, of course, there's a carrier, and that carrier could harass him while he sits there. But if he can get behind cover behind this island, he might just be able to at least contest it, I suppose, while being somewhat safe. But we will figure this out. Now, I don't have trouble brawling this Bismarck. I just need to find an approach where I can shoot this Bismarck and not end up in a crossfire or showing broadside to too many things. Now, meanwhile, we still have our Akizuki here, who is going to investigate over a little bit at A. The Loyang has been dealt with meanwhile. I should probably also mention the carrier did a good job earlier harassing and spotting the Loyang. And now our carrier is going after the Bismarck to stop him from sitting here in the B-cap, so good job, carrier. Now, over on the sea side, we have one Kremlin that's basically blocking this cap. Now, the Kremlin does have support, but the support is really far away. So if our team would push around this island, I think they could take care of the Kremlin without too much trouble from the other ships. But I guess we will find out. I guess they don't see any need to be aggressive right now, because we are at least a little bit in the lead. Now, the Bismarck has also been dealt with. Looks like Akizuki got a torpedo there. The Bismarck decided not to sit behind this island for some reason, and I guess he tried to turn away again. Maybe he realized that the island wouldn't help him against the carrier, I don't know. But that's lovely. Lots of suiciding ships in this one. Like, so now, for one thing, it might be a decent idea to go over to the A-cap and, well, stop them from pushing towards B. Of course, I couldn't do that by myself. I could try to do it together with my division mate in the Vladivostok, but let's be honest, Massachusetts and the Vladivostok against a Kurfürst and a Smolensk. Smolensk could probably just burn us down, while the Kurfürst would just tank.
Capture that area.
Also, I'm way too broadside to that Kremlin. So basically, I wanna engage the Kremlin. I was just distracted by a juicy south that I didn't really manage to get any shots at. Well, any hits at, I should say, but we will try maybe once more. And then we finally go after the Kremlin. Now, I wanted to go closer to this island here, but I could have chosen a much safer approach. If the Kremlin paid attention to me, I might have gotten wrecked there. So that was clearly a mistake on my part. But now I'm in the position that I want to be, actually, because now I can sit here angled against the Kremlin, maybe even get some juicy shots into him. Or her. And this island keeps me safe, basically, from the other ships on this flank, and I can just one-on-one this Kremlin. And maybe I can even encourage my team here to start sailing forward. Now, meanwhile, we have our Kurfürst, who is holding the center together with my division mates, which seems like a good thing, so the enemy can't push into her. Not that the Kurfürst is trying, and the Smolensk is just going for long-range shots. Anyway, probably. I'm also not lying. One of the reasons why I didn't hold against the A flank was because I'm just so sick of getting spammed by Smolenskis. Anyway. Now I'm dueling a Kremlin, and I'd much rather duel a Kremlin any time of the day get shot at by Smolensk. Now, I'm not getting good hits, because the Kremlin is angled, and well... So I'm trying to go pretty high there, maybe get some shots into the superstructure. But I could also just go for high explosive, I guess, because you see... Not really getting good hits. An angled Kremlin is a tough nut to crack. So, you know, high explosive might just be a very reasonable option, and I will come to that conclusion soon too. Maybe just one more shell. So the Kremlin is angling even more against me, although... Not sure what this like... The problem that Kremlin has, basically he's overstayed his welcome, you could say. He might have thought that he would be safe because he had backup, but the thing is, you see, the backup isn't even visible right now. And they shouldn't have anyone there to smoke, which tells me that neither the Hindenburg nor the Vladivostok are actually participating in this fight, which means there's 3 enemy ships. Oh, the Hindenburg is finally surfacing. So... The Kremlin might have fought yet, but the ships are way too far in the back to actually help the Kremlin, and, you know... Once our team got going, the Kremlin sank in a reasonable amount of time. Also, of course, he was showing broadside as soon as high explosive loaded, so I just shot the lightning, and that turned out. Okay, now we have a sailor moving in here, so I don't think that lightning will escape. I think he's also sailing outside of his own smoke. But with our Salem Strader here and the Salem pushing in, yeah, that lightning is pretty done for. Also, our carrier was here helping out once again. Now, gotta be careful, there's Vladivostok just shot. I could turn either away or towards the Vladivostok. Would be a little bit faster if I turned away faster to get a good angle. But I don't think I want to sail away. What I want to do is help sink those 3 ships so that we can mount a defense of B. Now, it's very nice that the Kurfürst never actually pushed towards B. I guess he didn't want to go alone. The Tsar was on low health and sailing away, and the Smolensk would never go close to an enemy because it's just meant as a long-range fire support.
Torpedoes to port.
So, yeah. Vladivostok is going down. It's like, ship-wise, the enemy could easily come back from this if we... Not careful, but if we can like clear out those few enemies here with minimal casualties, then we should be in a splendid place. And I was so convinced that the Vladivostok would go down here that I switched my secondaries towards a cruiser. Well, joke's on me, Vladivostok still floating. But my team is doing a good job here, no need for me to waste any more shells that way. Des Moines also down. That just leaves the Hindenburg here, and well, our ships seem to be surviving, so that's good. I feel like the Kremlin, the support he had was too far in the back to help when we pushed around, and now they are coming in when they've lost like their frontline battleship to absorb the damage. So we could easily just farm the cruisers without cover in the open. So I feel like the enemy cruisers, they should have been closer when the Kremlin was still alive to take damage, and once the Kremlin went down, they should have tried kiting away instead of pushing in when... But you know, I guess it's how it usually goes. So, the enemy is in the process of taking the beacon, but they are down to 4 ships. And we have, what, like 7? Now technically we could still lose this, but right now it seems pretty good. The Smolensk is arriving. I guess I'll have to face the Smolensk at some point. But first we are going to try to get rid of that Sow. I get 1 salvo off before it disappears behind an island. He's on pretty low health, he's broadside. I get lucky though. Well, I mean I got 2 shell hits, just wasn't enough. I get my usual overpen on a Smolensk. But you know, we've got the secondaries shimming in there too. We have torpedoes coming towards the core first. And now let's see, Smolensk is going broad first, he's reasonably close, so we aim like slightly below the waterline. And what do we get? This time we get the juicy citadel we've been craving. And it just feels like justice has been done. Now Sow peeking out, well let's take a Sow too, I mean I'm not picky. And that would even be my Kraken there, got the citadel. This time I got the citadel because, you know, just usual things. Now that Kurfürst is going down pretty fast too, and it would leave them with a carrier who has absolutely no way of defeating us at this point. And this turned into a very pleasant victory. Also, my team now has 7 kills between us, 8 kills between us, and we are the tier 8s in this battle. So isn't it lovely? Now, keep in mind that doesn't mean nobody else did something, we just might have been better at kill securing, I suppose. We will see a lot more in results, I guess. And now we can speed this up because there is nothing more to be done here other than, I guess, sail into the sunset or try to find a carrier and get some more damage in. And look at that, we found a carrier, so I guess we are going to get some more damage in. Now the carrier is... I don't think he's even moving, I mean he has given up, which makes a lot of sense because there is nothing he can do at this point, so I prolong the game needlessly. And I even got a nice chunk of damage out of it. Last shells are on the way. Who will get the kill? Well, guess it's me. And here we are with the results. And well, turns out I managed to get on top of the scoreboard, which is quite nice. Also, our division had 9 kills between us. The tier 8s in the tier 10 battle. But I should also mention that actually the carrier I felt like was pretty good at keeping up some spotting on destroyers. And well, the Salem obviously did pretty well. The Benson, well, he just YOLO'd in and traded with a Shimmerkasse. The Benson, I would argue, just got lucky. He took an unnecessary risk and he got away with it. But be that as it may, I enjoyed this battle. I hope you did so too. And I'll see you guys next time.